Greetings, fellow citizens of Disneyland. Bricky here. What do you say? Let's go all around the resort and see everything new, but also check out something that's happening over at the Haunted Mansion. And when we're done with that, let me give you a guide to all the treat trails for Oogie Boogie Bash, which will be happening in just a little bit over a week. There's so much Halloween goodness to get into. Let's get started right now. Santa Claus is back at the Haunted Mansion, as well as a lot of the exterior decorations. But one thing that I just noticed that's absolutely wild, the Haunted Mansion's front yard is completely missing. Like, the entire front lawn is gone. Haunted lawn? Who knows? But I cannot wait to see, does this mean new decorations or just a detailed refurbishment? Either way, they got me curious for next Friday.
That's right, fellow citizens of Disneyland. Next Friday, September 2nd, is the beginning of the Halloween season at the Disneyland Resort, which also means it's the beginning of the Nightmare Before Christmas overlay on the Haunted Mansion. This is a Halloween tradition that is unique to the Disneyland Resort. It's been going now since October 3rd, 2001. Yeah, Halloween used to start October 3rd. This year, fast forwarding up 22 years, it starts on September 2nd. And unless you've been living underneath a Disneyland designed rock, you probably know this is when Jack Skellington and all of his friends from Nightmare Before Christmas move into the Haunted Mansion. There's the Pumpkin King himself playing the role of Santa Claus. So this is what you need to know about this attraction. It is one of the most popular things that happens at the entire Disneyland Resort as part of the Halloween season. The best times to do this are at rope drop or at the very end of the night. Anywhere in between, you could be looking at very long wait times unless you're smart and you strategize and you choose the Haunted Mansion over nightly fireworks or over Fantasmic. Missing Fantasmic might not be that big of a deal to you because it runs all year long, but don't forget, during the Halloween season, we get Halloween Screams, which is the exclusive Halloween fireworks show. And keep in mind, you don't have to try to get here exactly during the beginning of Fantasmic or Halloween Screams. A lot of people start the line up 30 minutes ahead of time. So look at what time those events are happening, rewind the clock back maybe 30 minutes, and know somewhere in there is a window for you to cheat a shorter line for the Haunted Mansion. And if you're a Genie Plus buyer, this is definitely something you'll want to try to knock out with your Genie Plus, but remember, you only get one shot. Genie Plus Lightning Lane only gives you one chance to ride each attraction, so make the most of your one ride through. Oogie Boogie Bash only gets you into DCA after hours. It is not a regular park ticket. There's no park hopping available, so that ticket will not get you into the Haunted Mansion. So hopefully that's all the information that you needed to know or were curious about to make sure you get to ride the Haunted Mansion and don't spend too much time in line. Okay, now what I was teasing you with. I was filming everything and then I said, oh man, the lawn is completely missing. And I believe what we're looking at is a couple of things. Halloween decorations are going to be coming in, so they normally just get all over this part of the lawn, but probably also seeing more water conservation and AstroTurf being applied to this attraction. We've been seeing AstroTurf popping up more and more in the resort. We found a couple of parklets that have it over on Main Street, USA. So that's probably what's happening here. And if you look over at Sargers and Carsland, it starts to make sense. Some of these tighter areas to get to with fences around them, you can just imagine it'd be a lot easier to have the AstroTurf than to try to regularly always get lawn maintenance equipment inside of there. I do prefer natural grass, but once the leaves and everything fall on it, it does look pretty natural. Halloween lights. So there you go, friends. The Haunted Mansion is all decorated up. It will open up next Friday. Expect super long lines early in the morning, late at night, or try to make this something that you do to offset nighttime shows that maybe you're not interested in. And if you're not coming out for the Halloween season, don't worry, it runs typically to the middle of January. So you got quite a long time to see Jack and his friends as they've taken over the Haunted Mansion.
Friends, what do you say? Let's jump over to DCA and give you a guide to all those treat trails that'll be coming in just a week and a half. Oogie Boogie's Bash will be here inside of 10 days. Can you believe it? And what I thought would be a great exercise today is to walk around and show you where all the different treat trails are and give you a strategy on the best way to navigate Oogie Boogie's Bash. That 4 hours goes really, really fast. So what I would love to be able to do for you is I'd love to be able to show you the most efficient way to navigate Oogie Boogie's Bash. And along the way, let's see what new Halloween things that we can find at the park this week. Let's walk around and give you a guide to all the treat trails that will be at Oogie Boogie's Bash. And let me give you what I believe is the best order to do the treat trails in. The best way to navigate the park is to be efficient, to go from closest destination to the next one. When you zigzag, you waste a lot of time and a lot of energy walking your little legs off. So the first treat trail that I would recommend is you come just up from Carthay Circle, and inside of these wooden gates here is your first treat trail. Now, if everybody rushes up to this one first because people like to go to the first things first, you can simply ignore this one. And I'll tell you a way to work your way back around. But if it doesn't seem too crazy, inside these wooden gates is your very first treat trail. Typically, a photo op from across the way over in the waterfall. But inside of here is not only your first character meet and greet, but your first treat trail. Now let's move over to the next one in Grizzly Peaks. Your second treat trail that I would advise is the one on the edge of the airstrip. Normally Maleficent is back here, so it is a character treat trail. Now, if you skip the first treat trail, I won't blame you because it can get a little congested and crowded as everybody's coming in trying to figure out where they should go. Normally you'll be able to find Maleficent back here and lots of candy all the way along the way. You can stop and take a photo with her. You have to take your own photo, but it's a really fun little spot, and it starts to work your way inside the woods where I think DCA does Halloween the best, other than Carsland. Now your third treat trail will take you on the walkway through Grizzly Peaks. Now this is one of my favorite treat trails because you're walking through the woods and it just has those nice Halloween vibes. If the temperature is right the night that you come back here, you could see some steam coming off the water, which just adds in that fun Halloween flair. Now, as you work your way through the woods, there's music playing, it's dark and creepy, and there's treats all along the way. And then at the finish line at the end, you'll find a character waiting to meet you. Last year, it was the evil queen from Snow White, my favorite character in the park. Friends, last week I put out the challenge, subscribe to the channel and I'll donate $1 in your name to Children's Hospital of Orange County. And look, I got this many people that subscribed, and here is my donation to Children's Hospital. But the fascinating thing is, over 6,000 people watched last week's update video and decided not to subscribe. Why do you people hate sick children? What's the matter with you? You gotta click one button and made a difference, and you decided that you were too cool for school. So I'm putting up the challenge for one more week. Everyone who subscribes while watching this episode of Update, I will donate $1 to Chalk in your name. Come on, what's the matter with you? All you gotta do is click the button and I'll give $1 to a sick kid. Why don't you wanna help the children? Why do you hate sick children so much? Well, you looky here. Her altar has already started its construction. Our first sign of the treat trails and characters to come. This is the stop point where the candy ends, but around the bend there's a character meet and greet. This is 3 great trails that you're on, 3 characters that you can meet, and we're only a third away around the park. Now I'm taking a pit stop through the Redwood Trail Challenge because looky here. You can already see some of Villan's Grove's decorations going around the path. The candles are all on the outer edge, which is just getting me so excited for Villan's Grove. My advice for Villan's Grove has always been this: do it while everybody else is watching the first parade, and if that doesn't work out for your schedule, wait till the very end of the night. This thing can get a really long line. And my third suggestion, which is what I personally do, but it takes a little bit more time, is while you're waiting for the sun to go down, wait for the sun to go down in line for Villan's Grove. It does not open up until sunset, so killing that sunset time in line and furthering your position to see Villan's Grove, not a bad way to spend the magic hour at Oogie Boogie's Bash. If there's one treat trail I could let you miss, it'd be the one over here in the Pixar Promenade. It's a pretty long hike for little legs, and once you get over here, you have a lot more distance to travel to get back into the Halloween fun. So it's a bit of a detour and could eat up some precious time. So it just depends. Are you a completist? Do you need to do it all? Do you need to get all that sweet nectar of candy? Then yeah, put that on your list. But if you're looking to be efficient, maybe skip out on that one, unless the characters that are there are the characters you want to see. Last year, it was Sid from Toy Story. Now I'm trying to remember for the life of me, is there a treat trail down there or just the Mickey and Minnie Halloween photo op? There could have been candy, but I remember the photo op more. If there is candy there though, it'd be an easy tip over and get it, keep going on your way, or continue over to our next spot. Our next treat trail happens on the edge of Radiator Springs. I suggest coming in through the Pacific Wharf, getting your candy here, and follow along this line. Now I'm going to suggest cut through here over to Avengers Campus and not go all the way down Route 66, because Route 66 goes down to the parade route, and oftentimes there will be a lot of people backed up. If you're wanting to do efficient candying, this is the best path to go. But friends, look what has shown up all around us. The giant cobweb is back, and then going over the holiday telephone poles, we have the Halloween garland back on Route 66. That's so great.
And friends, while we're here, let's take a look around at all the new decorations that have shown up this week inside of Carsland. I just love the garland that goes across the street. I love the Halloween version, the Christmas version. It's just such a classic touch. The chain spider web. Flo's V8 Cafe has some great vibes over here, as well as a lighting package change. Mater has all kinds of vibes going around, as well as over at the refreshment corner. They do such a great job of celebrating both Carsland and Halloween seamlessly. It's as if the citizens of Carsland were to celebrate a holiday like Halloween. This would be exactly what it is. And you can tell that the Imagineering and decorating team had a fun time just coming up with great ideas, even better executions. The old haunted Pride windmill has all the scary faces on it, a lot of them being the different faces. And then there's just all kinds of details laying around in the flower beds. And one of my favorite things is Mater's graveyard. We love the graveyard outside of the Haunted Mansion. This gives that same attention to detail over to DCA, but with this fun Pixar twist to it. Come through here, read all these, check them out. I believe these are old radiators from old cars. I mean, fictional ones. I don't think that they're actual radiators, but that's what they're supposed to be. And I just love all the different puns and just taking this area, this little garden on the edge of Carsland that we all kind of just walk past, head down, either headed back out of the park or further the park down to Pixar Pier. It takes an area that we really don't pay any attention to, and it celebrates it. And I think that's what the holidays are all about, celebrating things that we normally just walk past, like the tree in your yard that turns into a Halloween or a Christmas tree, or your roof. You celebrate your roof because it's got Christmas lights on it. Sorry for the derail. Let's get back to our treat trail guide.
Doctor Strange's Sanctum is where you'll find your treat trail inside of Avengers Campus. They used the projection boards back there. Last year, it was characters from WandaVision. This year, I'm assuming it might be people from Doctor Strange, Multiverse of Madness, but this is where you'll be able to find all of your superhero friends when you come inside of Oogie Boogie's Bash. Now, I strongly suggest taking this back trail from Carsland over to Avengers Campus if you're really trying to maximize the amount of time that you spend on treat trails, because you will avoid a lot of parade traffic regardless of what time of night you take this back path. So maybe you just want to knock out all the candy in one fell swoop. This is the way that you want to go from Carsland over to Avengers Campus. And friends, believe it or not, we still have 3 more trails to go. On the backside of the Hyperion Theater, there will be another treat trail where last year, not only did they give out candy, but tattoos. I was already good on the tattoos, but I did enjoy the candy. And that reminds me that a lot of the treat trails will always have one alternative item, mostly candy. Then the alternative item might be fruit, might be celery or carrots, and sometimes it's a button, or in this case, temporary tattoos. Mama, don't let your babies grow up to be tattooed. I was here Sunday night, and the She-Hulk bench, attorney at law with the butt dent in it, was right here, and now it's already gone. What happened? Our second to last treat trail leads us up to the stage here, where last year Cruella de Vil had what was my favorite installation, but you zigzag all across this area to get candy while you're waiting to go up and see Cruella de Vil. And then our final treat trail, if you take this little shortcut through the buildings, you're allowed to, directly across the street, you can go and meet Oogie Boogie himself. Oogie Boogie is inside of the Animation Academy. The Oogie costume is great. All the projections in there make you feel like you're inside of a casino, where instead of wagering for money, you're wagering for your life. Now, I know I just told you that this is the final treat trail, but there is a bonus one depending on what time you nail it. All right, now that you've made it to the end of Hollywoodland, you can dip back to that first treat trail that maybe was a little bit crowded when you first got here, because when people come in, they have a hard time making decisions and they just kind of meander in that way. So you could go knock that out. But also, if you time it just right, if you stay to the end, you won't get this. But if you stay till like somewhere in the middle and it doesn't happen at the beginning, there's a weird window in the middle of the party where Buena Vista Street is a final goodbye treat trail. So therefore, if you time it right, there's one bonus treat trail that you can hit on Buena Vista Street. Friends, it may seem ridiculously early, but Oogie Boogie's Bash will be here before we all know it. In, I believe, 10 days from this video drop. Maybe I'm even overestimating it, but hopefully this video will give you a good idea how to maximize your candy time, and how if you have little legs with you to go in a route, it will enable them to get all the candy they want, but still have that energy to rip some rides and make some good times. What do you say? Now let's jump all around the resort to figure out everything new that's happened in the last week.
Could it be this hard drive installation on the far end of the gates is actually them upgrading for Magic Bands Plus? I have noticed they haven't been using these gates for a while, which means they could be quietly installing something for Magic Band Plus. They say it's coming to Disneyland at some point this year. Maybe this is another sign that it's coming. Another indication that Magic Band Plus is coming to the Disneyland Resort are these construction walls that have popped up around the area where the characters that meet and greet guests come and go from all day. This will be where you'll check in with the bounty hunter Taskmaster that will then give you all of your missions to go around Galaxy's Edge trying to collect bounties of different fugitives that are on the run. And speaking of bounty hunters, there's none other than everybody's favorite lovable mayor, Boba Fett. It is so awesome seeing Boba Fett walk through Galaxy's Edge. I remember as a kid when I had to send away proofs of purchase and wait for what seemed like forever for Boba Fett to show up in my mail. Fun fact, it was the first package that I ever sent out for and received. Look at this Disney magic. Here we see some of our favorite friends that just got done doing the daytime cavalcade, walking through Fantasyland, and my oh my, seeing this crew of characters come out of the gates, but even more, seeing everybody anticipating, running up to them and being surprised by them. This is the Disney magic that I showed up for. I love these little moments that you can't anticipate. They're not on a daily calendar. They're just the little moments that happen inside of Disneyland that always remind me why I love this place and why I do what I do for it. Interesting development that the Lion King has no shows today. I do know that this show is wrapping up. Now, they made a big deal about Main Street Electrical Parade going away, as well as Disneyland Forever. Both of those end on the 1st, right before Halloween starts. Then they quietly announced that the Tale of the Lion King would be going away as well. And it's interesting to me, when Tale of the Lion King goes away, why does Troubadour Tavern also have to close? Feels like there's enough of a need of people to want to get a snack back here and hang out in the shade. It's interesting to me that these two are tethered together. Last week we talked about Bippity Boppity Boutique coming back, and now this week we can see Enchanted Chamber, which is a little shop that sits inside of Sleeping Beauty's castle, has reopened, and man, is it crowded in there, but also crowded with opportunities. So many different costume style outfits for your little prince or princess to wear. And yes, there are prince outfits, but also worthy of stepping in if you're a big Fantasyland fan, just because of all the store decor that you'll find, both behind the pane glass, as well as the stained glass window you'll see over on the doors. And as always, you know the rule inside of a Disneyland shop, always look up. Fun to see this back, and that little ones can live out a day full of fantasy, as well as their adult counterparts can have photos that will last quite a while. I do remember being confused as a kid. Wait, there's nothing inside of the Disney castles? I can only imagine for little ones that are lucky enough to go in there and to get a costume or a makeover for the day. It's got to make Disneyland and this castle and Fantasyland all feel more like a dream come true. I guess it's safe to say the wagon's just not coming back. Remember the old stagecoach that was here that had the WED initials on the door, which I believe was actually a prop from Knott's Berry Farms? Well, I'm going to go on and guess that maybe it's not coming back, because these 3 boxes have been here for quite some time. It was always neat seeing that stagecoach with all those little Easter eggs, and knowing that there was a little bit of Knott's, the original Southern California theme park inside of Disneyland. Have I found the one Halloween decoration inside of Batuu? Is this robotic spider always here? I don't feel like I've seen this droid spider before that looks like it's devouring this other droid. Could that be a subtle Galaxy's Edge Halloween decoration? I'm gonna vote yes.
There you go, friends. Thank you for another walk around the Disneyland Resort with me. I hope you had a good time today, and I will see you back here a lot. Going to be doing constant videos all the way up to Oogie Boogie's Bash and D23, so please subscribe to the channel. Thank you to Club 1313 for making today's video possible, and thank you for watching.